Good morning all, hope you're doing well. So we've got a lot of green on our risk calculation, as you can see. There's now 4 people trying to short indices versus the 1 person buying. The technical score's really improved and we're sitting at 97 out of 100 and it's using these instruments here. And the VIX has been crushed quite heavily 2 days in a row. Will it happen the 3rd day? Possibly, but what might be an idea is that we can just maybe look to exit potentially on our risky bets, in so much that we buy when really low and we could scale out when we're really high. So you buy when this is like in the 5, 10, 15 area, and then you look to TP in the 80s, 90s, potentially, or we can carry on higher on the indices. To be honest with you, we can carry on higher, but if you want a plan, this is a good plan to have. So buy when we're nice and low. As long as this is green, then you're looking to buy, and then you could potentially look to de-risk, scale out when we're in the high 90s. It's an idea. So QDB scores quickly, and so AN is at the top and CAD Swiss at the bottom, and we want to kind of maybe avoid this mid chop section as well, but you know, it's up to you guys. If you're looking for trade ideas in this mid section, you could look at fundamentals to maybe give you a case for an entry, because AU probably could be doing a little bit higher on the scores. So we have got a big ADR, so we've got a lot of gas left in the tank. So if you're fundamentally thinking it's a good buy, that could be a case for you to aid you on your trading. So here right in the middle is kind of in like mixed, undecided, but if you've got a fundamental case for a currency pair in this midsection, you could look to trade it. Perhaps you're thinking you've got a fundamental case for a weak pound, so you could look to sell the pound. You know, for example, we've got an okay score, but it could drop. So, you know, it's up to you how you want to approach it. For me, I'm looking at reversals up here. So EC has got a really good score. It's had an improvement on the score, so we should be, on the percentage change, we should be positive. Likewise, NU, we've got a poor score, so we really shouldn't be positive. So you could theoretically look to sell it, because of it's got a poor score. Okay, that's how you do that. That's like a plan. We've got multiple plans. That's just a plan, and that's the sheet. Quickly look at DXY. We got a near-term top 104.40, and we had a breaker structure here at 104, at 104.02. So that was obviously a decent support, and that could be a resistance. So 104 level, big psychological level, and that would have been quite a nice support. This is the Jackson Hole move, and it looks like we're below that support and it's now resistance at 104, basically just slightly above 104, and we've got a little way before we break the super trend 103.35. So we'll have to see how we go with that. And this indices and gold. And so basically, as I said in Discord, you know, we were a buy on gold back here because we crossed over. Admittedly, we crossed over here, but we did have like a proper crossover here, and so that's why we mapped this box. So you're looking for buys above 1900. Like I was saying in Discord, you've done quite well since a $25 move since, and that's it. So basically, we had another buy here. So that's now support. See, we dipped into that support. We had a retest and a bounce scenario, and we're above this resistance now. DAX. Trying to make these videos a bit quicker nowadays. DAX, so we made it buys. We can put a box here, so we can draw a box if it'll allow me to do it. Rectangle, and then we put in a box here. Maybe. Yeah, it's so slow, isn't it? So that's fine. Basically, they'd sold it, so you know we should be coming up higher. There's a resistance here, as you can see, and it's not exactly accurate, that box. It should have mapped that candle wick high, but you understand what happened. So they went long, so price fell, and they shorted it, so price came up. We had a retest. They sold it again. Admittedly, they went long, and then they sold it, so it's a bit choppy here. But we're coming up to some resistance there. Above that level, we'll have clear skies. And S&P. So I mean, theoretically, we could look to de-risk, especially if we get the crossover here, and then we could look to exit. So we would have a nice low score around about here, and basically looking for entries. As long as we're risk on our risk calculation, you're looking for buys, and that's pretty simple, really. We might get the crossover, but we don't know for sure until it's actually crossed over. So you need a copy of the trading station, and we've got resistance overhead, as you can see, 4458 area, 4467 area, and yes, ready. Oh, come on, that's a bit annoying. That's really annoying, isn't it? And so we might get the crossover for Dow, but there's the buy here. It's where they actually got paid a little bit on the Jackson Hole move, but of course they sold it. I think because they sold it because of that break, and it probably looked quite bearish. They're probably looking left here as well, quite bearish. Broke this level, and then they really sold it, and by doing so, really pushed price higher. And that's the indices update. Now we've got EU in profit for a sell, and also we had the EU buy. Now what happened is that we fluctuated over the 50%, and that's how the robots open trades. It's simply analysing when a currency pair tells us when they're held on net long or net short. And what's happened with the Euro USD is that they fluctuated between net long and net short. So basically it just said we crossed over 50%, we went to 49%, then we went to 51%, and so we're just basically seesawing on the Euro USD. So far it's going okay. Yesterday was quite choppy because we had some residue from Friday, because Friday we were fairly risk off after the Jackson Hole speech, and obviously there was some the robot had some baggage from Friday, which now we've got rid of, so these are our current trades. So we'll have to see how we go. We've got some Swiss trades running, and like I say, we'll just have to see how we go, and then we'll report back. I'll report back tonight with the the profit and loss. So that's it. So hopefully you trade safely, and you've got your plan. And a plan to use is you could use the dashboard, sorry, the risk calculation even, and then you're looking to buy as long as this is green. And then also another plan is that you're looking to buy when something's negative up here, and you're looking for sells if something's positive down there. And that's it. So remember to trade safely, and I'll speak to you guys soon.